Teste de áudio. Boa noite a todos, bem-vindos a mais uma live. Hoje de volta com o Steelrising. Eu fiquei alguns dias fora, que eu não dei muito bem de saúde, então procurei evitar fazer as lives e dar uma atençãozinha específica à saúde mesmo. Eu não lembro muito do que eu estava fazendo na última live, então basicamente vou dar continuar e vamos ver o que rola. Se eu dou prosseguimento à história principal ou se eu busco missões secundárias. Enfim, vamos nessa. Tuilerias. Deixa eu ver aqui. Diário. Secundárias. Boa noite, Luiz. Tranquilo, rapaz? Terminou de investigar. Departamento dos crianças reais. Deve ir para Montmartre e falar com Bossier Marat. Montmartre. Eu estou em Tuileries, então vou procurar essa missão aqui. Saint-Honoré, perto de Tuileries. O game é bom, ele é bem simplório para algumas coisas, mas ele é bem tranquilo também de se jogar, não é tão difícil não. Deixa eu ver aqui, armas. Viajar. Não tem nada mostrando de missão secundária em Tuileries. Maria Antoniette e Gabriela Polinac. Vamos fazer uma visitinha aqui em Saint-Claude. Achei que dava alcance. Me lasquei. Tá, então eu devo presumir que aqui eu não consigo fazer nada agora. Não dá pra pular ali. Deve ter alguma outra coisa pra fazer. Então vamos pra Luxemburgo, onde tem a missão principal. E tem um monte de personagem no local. Mirabel. Opa, Beli. É aqui que eu preciso ir. Vamos dar uma vasculhada no mapa, que pelo que eu notei lá do mapa geral, tem muita coisa por aqui. E muita gente aqui. Ok. Tá, entra na parada. Sai, sai. Tem alguma coisa aqui em cima? Não. travada. Tá, então tem outro caminho. Tem tanto tempo que eu vim pra esse mapa que eu nem lembro muito dele mais. Definitivamente um bichinho bem irritante. mapa aqui tem hora que me dá uma raiva. Aqui eu dei a volta, tá. Jardim do Luxemburgo. Ainda mais.
Please, heaven help me!
You are wrong about my intentions.
You were only given the power of speech to better deceive your victims.
I come in peace, monsieur. How many automats must I destroy to convince you of this?
Alapha,
Tell me what happened to the unfortunate souls who died in this square.
what you see is the entire court of the Comte de Provence lying there. I am the only survivor.
The Comte de Provence? Has he fallen as well?
No, the scoundrel deceived us. He left the palace without telling us. When it was our turn to flee, it was already too late. The adventure ended here, on the steps of the theater. At the hands of this monstrous creature who spits fire, ice, and lightning. The most courageous tried to fight back, but they met with the same fate as the others.
Does this creature have no weakness?
One would imagine. We did manage to land a few blows when it was dragged down by the weight of its enormous mortar, but it was all in vain. My only advice to you is to escape while you still can.
Olha só onde é que tava a porcaria do negócio perdido. Lavoisier. Será que ainda tem como resgatar ele mesmo depois de ter enfrentado o boss dele, tecnicamente, né? Não, tecnicamente eu perdi. Ou não. Aí.
It's a trap. How could I have been so naive? Cagliostro, that miscreant. He's got
Bom
me.
saber que dá pra resgatar mesmo depois de enfrentar o boss.
Senor, Vaucanson's dance. You're conscious too, and yet you're not one of the Count's creatures, n'est-ce pas?
I do not know, monsieur.
But how?
It is best not to stay here, monsieur. I will take you to the Cordelier convent. The representatives of the Third Estate have made it their stronghold.
Oh, so you know about it. Well, if you'll agree to be my escort, let us leave post-haste.
You are safe now, Monsieur Lavoisier.
It is thanks to you that I am here safe and sound, madame. And though your very nature is a mystery to me, I am and shall be forever in your debt.
How do you intend to counter the King's actions?
Unfortunately, we don't have the upper hand. For now, we can only hope to protect ourselves from him. I am convinced that something is afoot. Something that could destroy all our hopes in an instant.
You have my full attention.
You should know that I am a gunpowder commissioner. As such, I oversee the provision of gunpowder to the kingdom's arsenals, l'Arsenal de Paris in particular. For the past 2 days, a large quantity of gunpowder from Marsangy has been sitting near Les Invalides. It's in a warehouse by the factories.
Les
But the
Invalides.
men I sent to take possession of the cargo and transport it to the Arsenal have gone missing.
Agora eu sei
Do
como é
you
que é a
realize
pronúncia.
what this means?
The gunpowder could have fallen into our enemy's hands.
It's possible. One thing is certain. It's enough to destroy half of Paris. Whether it is still in the warehouse or has fallen into the wrong hands, we must find it urgently. Then, if possible, we must neutralize it.
How?
Simply by placing it in contact with water. Nothing could be easier in theory, but we must find a way to flood it.
Flood the gunpowder? You're out of your mind, Lavoisier. We're in the most desperate of situations and you want to deprive us of such a valuable resource. What will our cannons use once we have formed our army of patriots?
Your army, Marquis, is presently but a figment of your imagination.
I see. So you're one of those men who would sound the retreat before the battle has even begun.
I will go to the warehouse. Once I have located the powder, I will decide what to do with it.
À la bonne heure, she's back.
Aegis, what a joy and relief to see you again.
Monsieur,
Welcome to our stronghold. I'm sure that everyone here is aware of the great debt we all owe you. As you can see, the most exhausted among us are growing stronger.
while the most determined are already planning our counterattack.
I did not expect to see you all together.
4 days ago, the representatives of the Third Estate gathered in a tennis court. They swore not to separate until they'd established a constitution for the nation. But that was not the only oath we swore. All the honorable men who were at Versailles, representatives and patriots, members of the Club Breton, secretly swore to meet here if they were dispersed.
You, Aegis, have allowed them to gather once again. Though unfortunately many are missing, we still have hope.
Why did you choose to meet in this convent?
It was my idea. Voyez-vous, I stay here whenever my obligations bring me to Paris. No other retreat inspires such peace and contemplation. Et puis, truth be told, this building has always felt like a fortress to me. Just look at how thick these walls are.
For 2 whole days, the patriots in the quarter consolidated the outer walls to make it an impenetrable citadel. No automat has broken through our defenses yet.
Where are the monks, mon père?
They are secluded in their quarters, praying for the salvation of the people of Paris. However, we bear no illusions. We are weak, we are divided.
And we are unarmed. Without you, without your warrior strength, we have no chance of turning things around.
You are sent by heaven above, Aegis. From now on, you may consider the Cordelia Convent your headquarters and a welcome refuge.
Os bonecos de
We must
massinha.
speak, you and I, in private, if you please. Monsieur de Lafayette must not hear a word of what I'm about to tell you.
Opa. Opa.
What do you mean?
Temos uma
You all
conspiração.
seem to be certain that I will use my strengths to serve your cause. Are you forgetting that I have a task to accomplish?
O Reset me comentou que ia ter alguma
We
coisa
know
do tipo.
and support your plan to free Monsieur de Vaucanson. That is why I've taken the time to think of a way for you to get to the Bastille.
I am listening.
There is a patriot in Paris whose pamphlets have aroused Monsieur de Lafayette's ire. His anger is so strong that the poor man had to disappear to escape arrest. I know that he is secretly hiding in the quarries in Montmartre. A labyrinth he is said to know like the back of his hand. If anyone can help you navigate the obstacles that keep you from the Bastille, it is the elusive Monsieur Marat.
Very well. I will go and find him.
Aegis, a word, s'il vous plaît.
Raymond. Lafer. Abad.
Aegis, wait just a moment. Je vous prie.
Lafayette. Jacqueline Kerr. Deixa eu ver qual é a desse cara
Monsieur
aqui.
Necker, you took my advice.
I owe you my life, madame. So I am embarrassed to ask you for anything more.
Do not fear. You have my full attention.
Suzanne, my beloved wife. I cannot bring myself to accept her death. Despite all the evidence, I still hope to see her alive again. I need to be sure. Mon Dieu. What have I done to deserve such a fate? Why has the king sworn to destroy me? And all that I hold dear. After everything I've done for him. My abnegation.
I will look into what happened to your wife.
Bless you, madame.
Where should I start my investigation?
In the Faubourg Saint-Germain, east of Les Invalides. We were separated in the Église Sainte-Marie, on Rue de Bourgogne.
Why would the king owe you anything?
I dedicated my life to the kingdom as his minister. Well, my life and my fortune as well. I refused to accept any remuneration for my services, in order to keep the accounts balanced. And I personally filled the king's coffers with 2.5 million livres from my own private accounts. Bonds in the Caisse d'Escompte, which the king keeps in a tailor-made armoire d'affaires in the Palais des Tuileries. He stores all his secrets there. I'd wager there's enough in there to sully his reputation 100 times over. You must retrieve these bonds post-haste, madame. They must not be used to allow this madman to build more murderous automats.
Do I have any chance of opening it?
Don't even think about it, madame. Despite your incredible strength, that safe is said to be impenetrable. It was designed precisely to that effect. I personally never had access to it. I suppose that its contents were too unofficial for the honest minister that I always was.
Who has the key?
The king does, that's for sure.
Anyone else?
How could I know? His shadow advisors, most likely. Now that I think about it, there's a rumor that has been going round Versailles for a while now. It's said that Monsieur de Mirabeau used to come and go as he pleased at the Tuileries, that he oversaw diplomatic missions for the crown. Not in any official capacity, of course. Who knows? He might know more about this matter than I do.
I will ask him. I shall be off.
You are the only hope of seeing my beloved wife again, and of foiling the plans.
Agora parece que vão abrir várias sidequests, no caso. Deixa eu ver aqui. Diário. Vão aparecer várias sidequests agora. Rastros de pólvora. Fábrica inglesa invalidez. Os tesouros de Monsieur Necker. Buscar por Suzanne Necker. E a fortuna de Monsieur Necker. Deixa eu ver tem um cidadão que deve estar por aqui. Mirabeau. É o Mirabeau? Deixa eu ver aqui. Montmartre. Cagliostro. Beli. Rospiri. Lavoisier. Beli.
Monsieur Bailly.
Ah, mademoiselle. I am very pleased to find you here with us within the shelter of these walls.
I found a document written in a script that I was unable to read.
Let me see. Ah, je vois. These pages were written using some sort of shorthand. A variation on Taylor's system, no doubt. I'm wont to use it myself from time to time while jotting down my ideas as they come.
What does it say?
It's a bit difficult to decipher. Je crois. I believe it's an autopsy report. The author writes that the subject died from a large dose of prussic acid.
What is prussic acid?
My apologies, Aegis, but I'm no chemist. You should ask Monsieur Lavoisier.
Goodbye, Monsieur Bailly.
Ótimo. Lavoisier.
Monsieur Lavoisier.
What can I do for you, Aegis?
What is prussic acid?
It's a volatile compound extracted from Prussian blue, which is a pigment derived from the cochineal, an insect.
What does it do?
Oh, it's a lethal poison, of the most dangerous sort. Though at weaker doses, it merely induces a deep soporific state, or a coma, if you will.
A deadly poison.
Aegis? Is everything all right?
Informe a rainha.
I did not find the warehouse.
Vraiment? It's near Les Invalides, not far from Monsieur de Vaucanson's workshop.
Goodbye, Monsieur Lavoisier.
Certo. Ecos. Isso aqui vai ficar cheio de gente. Deixa eu só ver aqui o que os outros cidadãos têm a dizer. Joaquim aqui.
Aegis, a word, s'il vous plaît.
Juliane Raymond.
Monsieur Raymond.
Aegis, we are very pleased to see you again. It was very unwise of us to leave the Société without such a capable bodyguard as yourself. It is a miracle that we got here safely.
What do you want to talk to me about?
Have you ever heard of the Club de Massiac, Aegis?
No, monsieur.
It's an association that meets at the Hotel de Massiac, just west of Les Halles. It counts some of the wealthiest plantation owners in the Empire. Those from Saint-Domingue and the Petite Santé, Our most formidable adversaries. They are waging a war of influence to keep the slave trade going, and resort to the vilest methods to achieve their ends. They worship nothing but money, and their greed is matched only by their cruelty. Regrettably, my interests occasionally require me to suffer their company. 2 months ago, I was in Le Havre to settle some business with the Admiralty, when I overheard a conversation between 2 planters from Bastère. If they are to be believed, the Club de Massiac is plotting to create sleepless slaves, des esclaves sans sommeil. Those were their exact words. It's hard to say what this could possibly mean, but I fear they plan to administer some foul drug to their slaves to force them to toil day and night, without rest. Our organization will not let these poor souls endure such a hell. Aegis, we must look into this. It is a matter of great urgency.
You speak of greed,
Tudo
Monsieur
é de
Raymond.
grande urgência, né?
But could you enlighten us as to what makes you any different from the planters you condemn?
What exactly do you accuse me of, Monsieur de Robespierre? S'il vous plaît, do tell.
Do you not also exploit the labor of these poor souls yourself on your indigo plantation?
I fight every minute of every day to improve their condition. No one would have the audacity to deny this.
If that's the case, then why wait? Free them. You preach abolition, yet you continue to line your pockets at their expense. The truth is, you refuse to upend the established colonial order because your entire fortune depends on it.
It's easy to criticize from atop Mount Olympus, Maximilian. You know nothing of the realities of Saint-Domingue. What would happen to all these people if I freed them tomorrow? Without an education, without a livelihood, I would be condemning them to the most abject misery. No. I must act with both compassion and realism.
Any reform, revolutionary or not, must be taken step by step, with moderation and prudence.
This reform is not so difficult. I've begun it myself at La Belle Gabrielle, my plantation in Guyane. There you will not find slaves, but workers who earn a weekly wage. And my plantation is no less profitable.
Ah, yes, profit. Because that's the most important thing. Don't you see, the law of nature gives every man the right to cultivate his own land.
Monsieur, calm yourselves. I implore you. Now is no time to quarrel. What Monsieur Raymond has related to us is extremely worrying. We must find out more about this plot to create sleepless slaves as quickly as possible. Aegis, you are the only one who stands a chance of making it to the Hôtel de Massiac alive.
Esse povinho gosta de ficar brigando, hein?
Did you go to the Hôtel de Massiac?
No, not yet.
Remember, it's by Les Halles, just west of the Marché des Innocents.
What fate does the kingdom reserve for those with black skin?
According to tradition, any enslaved person who sets foot on French soil is freed.
This rule is most problematic in the eyes of planters in the colonies, who would seek to maintain their precious labor force.
This is why, for the past 12 years, no black people have been allowed to disembark in any of the kingdom's ports. Those who accompany their masters on the journey are imprisoned in the Admiralty's jails the moment they leave the ship. As for those who manage to evade the authorities, they live in fear of the raids carried out by the Marshalsea.
Are you not subject to these laws, Monsieur Raymond?
I am fortunate enough to have been born a subject of the king through my father, and also to have received an education, and to be wealthy.
Naturally, that makes all the difference.
What is the aim of this organization?
We publish articles and exert our influence on those who are in a position to improve the lot of our unfortunate brethren. Our numbers grow by the day, and we have many illustrious members, such as the Comte de Mirabeau and the Marquis de Lafayette. But it was Monsieur Brissot and the Abbot that founded the group.
Good old Brissot. Shouldn't he be here by now?
Yes, mon père. He should have arrived hours ago. Alas, there's been no sign of him.
I hope to God that no misfortune has befallen him.
You are quite a long way from home, Monsieur Raymond.
I haven't been back to Saint-Domingue in nearly 5 years. I left my most trusted men in charge of overseeing my indigo plantation. I came to France with the aim of having an audience with the king. I hoped to convince him to use his automats for agricultural work. I was of the belief that this was the best way to ease the suffering of our enslaved brethren. Alas, it was all for naught. I was only able to get an audience with the Minister of the Navy, and even that was granted reluctantly. Later, when the king convened the Estates General, my hopes were renewed. I saw it as an opportunity to make our voices heard. And then, mon Dieu, what a disaster, Aegis. What a complete disaster.
See you later, but...
L'affaire.
My respects, Monseigneur.
I didn't expect to see you again so soon, Aegis. We missed you when we had to leave our shelter at Place Saint-Merry. The path that led us to this convent was not an easy one, believe me.
Goodbye, Monseigneur.
Allez en paix.
Ok, não tem nada a dizer. A barriga.
Aegis, I'd like to talk to you. Do you have a few moments to spare for me?
Certainly, mon père. I am listening.
I've carefully collected the testimony of our companions here. Then I compared them with the observations made during my investigation of the man who calls himself Cagliostro. I came to quite the shocking conclusion. I believe I have discovered how the royal automats remain constantly in motion. Like clocks that never need winding. They get their energy from the souls of the dead, Aegis. They drink from the anima essence that permeates the purgatory described by Monseigneur de la Fare. These machines feed on the dead. The greater the massacre, the deeper the river where they slake their thirst.
Is there any way to stop the bloodshed, mon père?
I believe there is always hope, Aegis. As long as I remain free to pursue my research, I will never lose faith. I keep thinking about the three Nemes. These echoes. All of this is clearly related to Nicholas Flamel's work.
Nicholas Flamel.
Precisely,
Opa!
mon ami. And this leads me to fear the worst.
What have we to fear from an alchemist who died nearly 4 centuries ago?
Not him, per se. Rather, the heretic who is exploiting his discoveries. This poses a grave danger to us all.
What do you fear, mon père?
What do I fear? Nearly 2 months ago, the king forbade anyone from setting foot inside the Église Saint-Jacques de la Boucherie, near the Hôtel de Ville. He had the priests forcibly removed. They hardly even had time to save the church's sacred relics. Since then, only our Father in heaven knows what they've been doing there, hidden away from the people of Paris.
Oh dear. Flamel's tomb.
My thoughts exactly, Monseigneur. Legend has it that Flamel was buried with his lapis philosophorum.
What is the lapis philosophorum, mon père?
The Philosopher's Stone. Where do I begin? No one knows its true nature, or even what it might look like. All that is known is that it is said to grant untold riches and eternal life to whoever possesses it. Its very existence is questioned, of course. But if it's true, just imagine what sinister purpose the king and his accomplices might find for it. We must elucidate this matter at any cost.
Where is this tomb?
In the church's crypt. The priests always ensured that it remained undisturbed, despite the mystery surrounding it. But now they're no longer there to protect it. We need to know for certain.
But how? There are automats everywhere.
Aegis,
Oui, mon père.
will you help us get to the bottom of this?
Did you not say that it was impossible to enter the church?
There is perhaps a solution. The penitence door behind the Châtelet leads to the Quartier de l'Hôtel de Ville. It's only opened on Good Friday, but this year, I had the honor and good fortune to lead the procession. Here is the key.
Goodbye, mon père.
Interessante. Agora a coisa tá ficando interessante. E muitas missões secundárias para atender. Deixa eu ver aqui. Vamos lá. Primeiro, deixa eu ver se eu consigo alguma coisa. Informe a rainha imediatamente. A carruagem dela tem um meio de comunicação revolucionário. Se eu me lembro bem, a carruagem está no início de um dos cenários. Ou eu estou enganado? Deixa eu ver aqui. Essa opção é legal. Ok. Montmartre. Como é que é? Peça um conselho ao Monsieur Mirabel. Então ainda tem mais coisa para conversar aqui.
Monsieur de Mirabeau. What does this letter mean?
Who gave you the right to read my correspondence?
I'm curious about how you got rid of Italia. As if it burned your fingers.
To tell you the truth, you're not entirely wrong. It is a missive sent by my father, the Marquis de Mirabeau, the scoundrel who shamelessly dares to call himself the friend of man. He writes to say that he is on the brink of death, in such a desperate state that he has received extreme unction. This reprobate used his final moments on this mortal plane to send me threats yet again. He swears that he will torment me from beyond the grave.
How is that possible?
To my knowledge, he has not yet deigned to shuffle off this mortal coil. In any case, the satisfaction of knowing he is dead would not assuage my concern. This man is more persistent than the plague. He's capable of anything. He has spent his entire life persecuting his family. And I believe he is ready to spend his eternal rest continuing to do the same. I need to know what he's planning.
Where is he now?
At his home in Argenteuil. Given the circumstances, going to ask him for an explanation is out of the question. But the man who heard his final confession is here.
Monseigneur de la Fare.
Precisely. Only this confounded shaveling refuses to tell me a word of what the old dragon confided to him. He stubbornly insists on the secrecy of confession. Bon sang. Will we ever be rid of these damned superstitions? Aegis, would you be so kind as to intercede with the bishop? Perhaps you will be able to make him change his mind.
Deixa eu ver se tem mais alguma coisa que eu posso falar com ele.
Were you able to speak with Monseigneur de la Fare?
No. Minister Necker claims that you were a familiar face at the Tuileries Palace.
That old story. Will it hound me until I have drawn my last breath? This, madame, is nothing
Boa noite,
but an
Raul.
unfounded
Tranquilo?
rumor that I am trying in vain to dispel. To what do I owe the displeasure of having to defend myself once again?
I must get hold of some documents that are kept in an armored safe in the King's chambers.
What luck could resist your talents?
Minister Necker said it was indestructible.
Oh, I see. Well, let me think. Who could help you? After all, a lock is nothing more than a simple mechanism. Nothing that can resist the expertise of our dear Monsieur Bailly. Why don't you ask him for help?
I'll be sure to do so.
Now, who else might be of use? Oh, there's Monsieur Lavoisier as well, our gunpowder commissioner. I'm sure he'll have no trouble finding you something you can use to blow the door off that stubborn safe.
Good. I will go and find him.
Now, if you'll forgive me, I have an urgent matter to attend to.
You are forgiven for everything.
In that case, it has been a pleasure, madam.
Has anyone seen Monsieur de Mirabeau?
Monseigneur.
What can I do for you, Aegis?
Monseigneur. I would like to talk to you about your recent meeting with the Marquis de Mirabeau.
What has gotten into all of you? This has gone on long enough. I will say it one last time and pray that they will finally leave me alone. Nothing and no one will make me violate the secrecy of his confession. Have I made myself clear?
Perfectly clear, Monseigneur.
É.
Did you find out what Cagliostro was up to near the Tuileries?
No, not yet.
Remember what Monsieur de Mirabeau told us? He said the Count looked extremely busy near the Tuileries.
I'm looking for a way to force a lock that is supposed to be unbreakable. Monsieur de Mirabeau advised me to ask you for help.
But I'm an astronomer, mon enfant, not a locksmith. I know my way around lenses, filters, racks and tripods. But I've never given a moment's thought to how a lock works. God, Monsieur de Mirabeau was joking with you, that's all. Où est-il, ce brave homme? So that we might ask him.
He has left. A matter that could not wait.
Excuse me? Do you mean he left the convent? That's madness. What was so important that he would put himself in such danger?
Intriguing indeed. Monsieur Lavoisier.
What can I do for you, Aegis?
I would like to access the contents of a safe that is supposedly unbreakable. Dare I ask for your help, Monsieur Lavoisier?
And how can I be of assistance to you, madame?
I need gunpowder to break through the door.
Gunpowder? But I don't have a speck of it, mon ami. Do you think I just walk around with explosives in my pockets?
Oh. I apologize. It was Monsieur de Mirabeau's idea.
Mirabeau? What is this ridiculousness? I suspect he knows full well whatever he's playing at. Where is the animal? So we can ask him what's truly going on.
He has left. He had an urgent matter to attend
E
to.
eu já sei onde é que é isso.
I'm sorry, madame. If I could inspect the safe and determine what metal was used in its fabrication, I might be able to find a solution. But given the circumstances, I'm sadly not in a position to help you.
I understand. I did not find the warehouse.
Vraiment? It's...
Goodbye, Miss...
Deixa eu ver aqui. Ir até o hangar perto das fábricas em Les Invalides. Tá. A missão mais tranquila vai ser em Les Invalides. Hangar.
By the Église Sainte-Marie. I can get back there quickly from here. Gunpowder. Monsieur Lavoisier's gunpowder was taken to the best... and rolled away. These grooves prove it.
Igreja de Santa Maria. Filho da mãe. É, já tô causando um dano bem razoável. Ué, bugou? Não era pra inspecionar?
Some worshippers were able to escape the automats. They ran towards the entrance to the catacombs.
É, parece que foi pro saco. Sabia que tava esquisito demais. negócio de só encontrar corpos não me dá sensação boa. E com tantos inimigos no meio do caminho, duvido que eu encontre essa mulher viva.
So Madame Necker escaped. I must inform her husband
Lendo
immediately.
as mensagens significa que o Senhor, em sua misericórdia, poupou a nós dois. E esta igreja não se tornou nosso leito final. Consegui sobreviver ao terrível massacre e estou indo encontrar a filha de Germaine no hospital de Saint-Sulpice. Estaremos espera lá. Deve ter alguma forma de passar isso aqui, não? Ah, pô! Eu vou ter que fazer o caminho todo voltando, será? Ou tem algum caminho aqui? Ah, eu vou voltar. Quero nem saber. Tem um caminho aqui que eu peguei. Opa. Foi aqui. Como é que eu faço pra chegar lá agora? Ué? Tem que enfrentar esses bichos aqui pra poder normalizar? Ai, ai, esqueci que esse chapanudo aqui, ele atrapalha. Não entendi. Tá. Fazer o seguinte. Caraca. Bugou. Não consigo ir em nenhum vestal. Ah, não. Você tá de sacanagem comigo, né, cara? Deixa eu ver aqui, inventário. Ah. Ah. É sério isso? Só espero que o save não tenha bugado. E se bugou, lascou. Bugou, literal. Não consigo fazer mais nada. Ai, ai. Será que literalmente eu vou ter que dropar o jogo por causa de um bug do jogo? Vou fazer o seguinte então. Vou finalizar a live por aqui. Vou estudar essa situação, porque literalmente não consigo salvar, não consigo fazer nada. Entre aspas, não consigo salvar, né? Não consigo upar, não consigo viajar entre os cenários. Aí fica extremamente difícil. Fica, como posso dizer, inviável jogar, no caso, né? Deixa eu fazer o seguinte. Tem um inimigo ali. Vou deixar ele me matar. Porque às vezes o jogo simplesmente buga por besteira. E não funcionou. Não funcionou. Vou fazer isso mesmo. Vou finalizar a live, investigar sobre esse problema, porque é um problema muito grave. Toda a run que eu fiz até agora vai pro lixo, né? Tecnicamente, se eu não conseguir desfazer esse problema. Sério, né? Tudo bem. Muito obrigado a todos que estiveram na live comigo. Um salve aí pro Luiz e pro Raul, no caso do Lintas, RL Games. Muito obrigado a todos. Muito obrigado pela presença. A todos que apoiam aí o canal. Hoje, infelizmente, o reset não apareceu, mas deve ter acontecido alguma coisa, ou ocupado, enfim. Todos temos momentos de fazer outras coisas mais importantes, ou dar atenção a alguma coisa extremamente importante, enfim. De qualquer forma, eu sei que ele vai dar um apoio aí no canal, vai aparecer em outras lives, vai assistir o VOD do canal, se ele estiver interessado, enfim. Muito obrigado a todos que estiveram na live e a todos que vão assistir os vídeos posteriormente. Tenham uma ótima noite, uma ótima semana a todos. Fiquem com Deus e até a próxima.